Your mind might think of huge black beasts whenever someone screams spider. But in reality, there are plenty of beautiful spiders all around the world that are just crying out for some love and appreciation. These 8-legged creatures may be small, but their colorings are unlike anything we've ever seen before. In fact, they're so pretty that they might even make you reconsider your feelings about spiders. Make sure to stick around until the end to hear about the spider whose web is almost as pretty as its coloring. Before we amaze you with some of these aesthetically, now let's get into the 10 most beautiful spiders found around the world. Peacock Spider. As far as spiders go, the peacock spider can barely compete when it comes to size. But what these creatures lack in stature, they make up for in color. The name Peacock Spider isn't for nothing, and you'll find many different colors dancing across the back of these spiders. The biggest peacock spider can reach a tiny 0.3 inches in diameter, about the same size as a pencil eraser. And while they may sound venomous like most spiders, their jaws are actually way too small to have any impact on us. So small, in fact, that they wouldn't even be able to puncture our skin. So if you do find yourself in close proximity to a peacock spider, try not to panic too much and just enjoy how beautiful they are. When their prey is close enough, the peacock spider will pounce on them. And if you needed a reason to find these spiders cute, then you should also know that they do a little dance to attract their mates. And if a male's dancing isn't up to par, he might get eaten by the female spider that he's trying to woo. These spiders clearly have high standards. 8-spotted crab spider. With its bright yellow-orange body and long dark legs, you could still be forgiven for running away from the spider if it ever got too close to you. It almost looks like the spider is dressing up for Halloween. But be warned, because you don't really want this creepy crawler near you. It's definitely a spider that's not playing around with its flashy colorings. The 8-spotted crab spider was discovered in a forest preserve in Singapore less than 100 years ago. It lives in the leaves of small trees, which means that unless you really go wandering, you're unlikely to come across it. In fact, scientists who've gone looking for the 8-spotted crab spider haven't had much luck hunting it down. It's only been spotted sporadically since its first discovery, and if you're not a fan of spiders, you'll be pleased to hear that the 8-spotted crab spider's existence may be threatened due to disturbances to its habitat. So if you want to get a good look at it before it's gone for good, it's time to start looking at flights to Singapore. Flower crab spider. Much like the name suggests, the flower crab spider is up there with some of the prettiest arachnids in the world. This truly remarkable spider is white or bright yellow in color and attracts the attention of scientists whenever it's spotted. Much like a crab, these spiders walk sideways to get around. The female is larger than the male and also possesses the ability to change color when she wishes. Most of the time, she's a shade between white and yellow. But if necessary, she can even gain a bluish or pinkish tinge, depending on the color of the plant she's hiding on. Some female flower crab spiders also have green stripes down the sides of their thorax. Unlike many spiders, the flower crab spider doesn't catch its prey by spinning webs. Instead, it waits in the shadows for its prey to get close and then reaches out with its 2 front forelegs to snatch it up. As soon as the prey has been caught, the spider will paralyze it with one quick bite. Wasp spiders. For some reason, someone thought it would be a good idea to introduce the wasp spider into habitats where it doesn't normally live. We personally think that this huge beast should have stayed where it belonged, despite its pretty colors. The wasp spider, as you might imagine, looks a lot like a typical wasp. It's yellow and black in color and garners a lot of attention. But it's actually only the female wasp spider that has this coloring. The male wasp spider is far smaller and is pale brown in color. And it's clear that the female is dominant in this species, because if the male tries to mate when the female doesn't want to, she'll just eat him instead. How's that for being rejected? Despite being beautiful and terrifying at the same time, the wasp spider isn't a dangerous one. Although we'd like to believe that, you'll still find us staying far away from these creatures. But if you do want to go looking for one, you can find them in parts of Europe, North Africa, and certain regions of Asia. Sequin spider. Depending on where in the world you live, you might already be used to seeing spiders with brighter colors. But for those of you who are deprived of beautiful spiders, you probably aren't aware of the sequin spider's existence. This spider looks like it has colorful gems all over its back. The sequin spider, otherwise known as the mirror spider, hails from Australia and comes in several subspecies. It's a spider that's common around creek lines, especially in Brisbane. Many Australian children will go hunting to find it once they become aware of its existence. And the reason for this spider's colorful looks is down to nothing more than science. The deposit of silver seen across the mirror spider's abdomen is made of guanine, which is a byproduct of the spider's digestion. Instead of this substance excreting entirely into the environment when they poop, Some of it excretes out onto the surface of the spider's gut. When these deposits hit the surface of the body, they form into large lumps, which end up looking a lot like sequins, hence its name. Cobalt blue tarantula. You'll have to travel to Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, or the surrounding areas if you want to catch sight of the cobalt blue tarantula. However, many would rather stay away due to the huge size of this beast, but those who are daring enough to get close are rewarded with a beautiful view of a brightly colored spider. To the naked eye, the cobalt blue tarantula actually just looks like any other spider, plain black. But a closer inspection is what it takes so that the varied shades of it can be seen more intimately. And when you get close enough, the blue shades of it seem almost iridescent. However, we'd warn you not to get too close, because this beast is known to be aggressive. It's thought to be one of the most aggressive breeds of tarantula in the world, and even spiderlings of the species will attack without a second thought. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the bite of the cobalt blue tarantula is pretty painful and venomous, although it's not dangerous to humans. This tarantula, like most arachnids, has adapted to take down its prey with the use of its venom. Although it can easily paralyze small creatures, it's unlikely to have too much of an effect on humans. But it's your call if you decide to venture closer to one or not. Spiny orbweaver. The spiny orbweaver looks more like something from out of a science fiction movie than an actual living creature. Their bodies look similar to that of most other spiders, but it's the thorn-like structures on the top of them that'll make you want to run away. And you can't miss them, as this is definitely a feature that you'll notice first if everyone comes crawling towards you. Spiny orbweavers can come in all shapes and sizes, and their bright coloring might actually work to their advantage. While you might think that flashy colors do a great job of attracting predators, the huge spikes extending from this beast's back work as a deterrent for any birds or other creatures who might fancy snacking on them. But while these spiny orbweaver spiders might look like they could do some damage, they're actually harmless to humans. This spider is mostly found in Southeast Asia and India, but it's also been found in southeastern parts of the United States. Orchard spider. If ever there was a spider that featured almost every color of the rainbow, it would be the orchard spider. With a bulbous body and huge elongated legs, this spider shines bright wherever it decides to spin a web. Its body is yellowish-green with round stripes on the sides. Its back is silvery with dark stripes, and the stomach can vary in color from silver to greens, yellows, reds, and some blues. And if that wasn't enough, there's also usually a yellow, orange, or red crescent on the belly. If it wasn't so scary looking, it might actually be quite beautiful. And it's not just on its body where the spider shows its beauty. Even its webs are works of art and are incredibly impressive in their design. Their intricate webs usually hang horizontally or at an angle to the ground, and the spider can often be found facing downwards in the middle of them. The orchard spider is another species in which the female is larger and more impressive looking than the male. In fact, the only time you'll really stumble across a male orchard spider is when he's trying to court a female on her web. Pink-toe tarantula. Fancy by name and fancy by nature, the pink-toe tarantula is certainly one that's fun to gaze at. Also known as the Antilles pink-toe and the Martinique red tree spider, it's huge in size and is also quite fluffy. Due to the appearance of this creature, you might be surprised to hear that it's often favored as a pet. When this spider is at home in nature, you'll usually find it on Caribbean islands like Guadeloupe, Dominica, and Martinique. But as a pet, you can keep it anywhere in the world if you provide it with the right conditions. In fact, there are whole websites dedicated to looking after your pink-toe tarantula, should you ever want to consider purchasing one instead of a dog or a cat. While they clearly have a reddish-pink hue to them, they actually start off as a rich, deep blue color when they're young. As they grow older, their fuzzy bodies slowly morph into a darker coloring. The pink-toe tarantula can grow up to a huge 5 inches in diameter, meaning you can clearly see each and every leg individually without a magnifying glass if you wanted to. Golden silk spider. As well as being known for its gorgeous hue, the golden silk spider is also known for the impressive webs that it spins. It's also known as the banana spider, and this yellow and black striped beast definitely stands out from the crowd. When they spin their webs, the golden coloring of its silk makes them different from the webs of other arachnids. These spiders also create an interesting zigzag pattern into their webs. As a result, their webs look more attractive and they're able to attract more prey. The golden silk spider can be reddish or greenish yellow in color with patches of white along the abdomen. If they need to blend in to distract predators, their natural color scheme makes it easier for them to hide away. You'll find the golden silk spider all over the world in warmer climates, but it particularly favors Australia and Madagascar. The golden silk spider can also be found in the United States, in North Carolina, and all the way down to Texas. As long as the weather is warm, this spider is happy. That's all for the 10 most beautiful spiders found around the world. Can you think of any other amazing arachnids that should have made this list? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.